Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Code X podcast. As usual, I am your host, Sonny Kruger, and joining me today is my usual co host, Tim Morse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Codex Podcast. It is spooky season, and you can tell we are living the holiday spirit by all of this awesomeness all around us. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're sitting down, getting ready to watch an amazing show.
Oh, that is right. Halloween is only a few days away. Well, almost a week away. So last year we reviewed Hearts of Darkness, and
Mm-hmm.
today we will be reviewing the sequel, which is The Dark Design, which is the team up of the Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine.
Yep.
But first, before we get started, October is also October is also Bully Awareness Month. So
Mm-hmm.
each year we like to do a little bit of talking about bully. Well, it's actually Bully Prevention Month. So we like to talk a little bit about bully prevention. So I will say, everybody, that you do go through things. Everybody goes through something. Everyone deals with some kind of jerk, some kind of bullies. Even all of us deal with it. Even me. I may be, let's say, confident in my ways, but trust me, I've dealt with jerks. I've dealt with bullies. Everyone goes through it. Everyone deals with it, and know that you are not alone. And there could be things you like, and everyone tries to. There will be people who try to talk trash and say, "Oh, well, you like this, or you look like this, or you wear this." Trust me, there are other people who like the stuff you like, wear the stuff you like. Be you, be proud of who you are, and trust me, there are other people around you. Trust me, I went years without having other people to talk with comic books about, and look at that. I got a
Now look
whole,
where you
I'm
are.
part of this whole station. Look at that. I've got buddies who, friends that are not just friends, friends that I love and consider family to me. And like I said, do what you want, do what makes you happy, because you're worth it. Your life, you're worth something. You deserve to be happy. So do what makes you happy. And like I said, all that other stuff, those people talking trash and bullying, they're just background noise. They're just trying to distract
Yeah.
you. Keep keep your eye on what you want in life. Go for that. And then for all those who do bully, sometimes when you think it's a little bit of funny and you're not really thinking about the future, you know, be better. You can be better. So think about that. You don't really want to hurt somebody that bad. And if you really somehow did, you really take a long look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why are you like that? Why why does this random person why do you think this random person needs you to be mean to them? You'll find out that they don't need that, and you can be better and you can do better. So that is my quick little thing I'd like to say about Bully Prevention Month.
It's like I tell my son, if you're the only one laughing, then it's not really that funny. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, the books that we read on a regular basis, a lot of the characters in there went through bullying themselves. Peter Parker is the first one that immediately comes to mind. We read these characters because we can relate to them and because they have gone through experiences similar to our own, and it helps us escape reality for a little while. But the reality is, I mean, sometimes, these things happen to people. People get bullied, people get picked on. Lord knows I did when I was in school, and I hated every minute of it. But the thing is, like Sonny said, you are an amazing person, regardless of about yourself or how other people try and tell you that that's what you are, right? If you need someone to talk to, reach out to a friend, reach out to a member of your family, somebody you trust, and sit down and have a conversation. You'd be very surprised how much can get resolved through talking, or even how much better you feel or how much more relieved you feel after just getting things out. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Don't bottle it in. That's not healthy. Just reach out, talk, and just tell somebody, hey, I need you to listen right now. And that's all they need to do.
Yeah, and also too, artwork. There are many forms of artwork. Some people like to get it out,
Mhm.
and sometimes maybe draw a picture, write a song. Maybe
Yeah.
hey, be like me, put it into a story. Sometimes I feel
Yeah.
things. I'm like, you know what? I will remember this, and I'll put this into a character. I will use this. This may seem like it's negative, and I will turn it into a positive and put it into a story. And someday, someone will be able to maybe relate to it.
And as Jamie always says, if you don't have anybody to talk to, that's not true because you have the entire Codex station that you can reach out to. And we will be more than happy to sit down and have a conversation with you or just listen.
Yes, it is true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Feel free to reach out, everybody.
Yeah.
And one thing too, it is great that there are plenty of groups online where it is easy to reach out, or easier to reach out to people. Let's say comic book groups, right? We
Mhm.
look at how close of friends we've become, Tim,
Yeah.
over the years, and we met through online.
The comic
Groups,
character of the day, that's one of
comic
the
characters.
greatest places on Facebook. It is so low key. It is so laid back. Everybody's really cool. And it's a great place and a very warm and welcoming place for new people.
Yeah, just everyone having fun talking about comic books.
Mhm.
Yeah, so no judgment, no being mean or
Yeah.
laughing when someone asks a question. It's just having a good time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, one thing also is that October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, everybody, take care of yourself. Get checked out, guys. That includes you too. I know it's way more breast cancer is way more common in women, but men do have it. I did some
Mhm.
research, and it says one in every 833 men have it. So, I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem like much, but when you think about it,
That's a lot.
look at the state you live in, look at the country. Think about how many people live in your state, how many people live in the country, how many men live in the world. One out of 833. It is something. So if you feel
Mhm.
something's awkward, different, don't be ashamed to get it checked out. So take care of yourself. So everybody get checked out, and we want all of you doing good, everybody. So take care of yourselves.
Absolutely.
And who's commenting? That is
You
Sal commenting. Hey, Sal.
Oh, hi, Sal. How's it going? Oh, look at that. The text is even spooky. Ladies and gentlemen, we are amused by the simplest things. So
Yes, sometimes you gotta enjoy the little things too. We enjoy big stuff and big comics and all this stuff,
yeah.
but sometimes we enjoy little things like look at how spooky my name
Oh,
looks.
it's so amazing. So wonderful.
Yeah, but now, Tim, well, also too, we did have a good pre-show earlier today, which
hmm
we were we were embarrassing Tim's daughter, talking about her birthday and all the things she likes.
Happy
So,
birthday, Graceland. She turned 14. So, ladies and gentlemen, wish her happy birthday in the comments.
it's Graceland, happy belated birthday, and then 360 or 359 days from now, happy early birthday.
Yes.
Hope you really enjoyed it. And now, Tim, we do get to the comic news slash the rundown.
Oh, here we go.
We got a surprise for everybody. And it's the comic news for today. Here we go. Yeah. And the comic news. We've been looking. I mean, obviously, last week was the San Diego Comic Con, so that had plenty of the news is put for that.
New York.
In New York, yeah. What was I
Yep.
thinking? New York Comic Con was last week, and I was looking into things. I was like, "What's comic news?" It's just like lists. So here's a list of this, of this. I'm like, "There's no actual news."
No
So
news is good news, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, so that's right. That takes us to the comic news slash the rundown. As Tim said, no news is good news. I'm sure within the next couple of weeks.
Sal says, Happy birthday, Graceland. That's some news right there.
Yes, that is some news. And yeah, so now with the comic news wrapped up, we can get on into some previews.
Yeah.
Talk about some upcoming things. So, Tim, what are some of the upcoming comic books that people should be looking out for?
So, if you haven't read it, Ultimate Invasion just finished a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it was announced before, but I think another announcement came out that Hickman is going to be writing the Ultimate Spider Man line for that. And that comes out next year. So, that is something that I am looking forward to. I haven't read issue 4 of Ultimate Invasion yet, but it is on my list. Avengers. This is the one that I am loving right now. I even made a list of my top Marvel comics that are out right now, and so these are monthlies. These come out every month, with the exception of Ultimate Invasion, but the Ultimate Universe is coming out. So if you're not getting these titles, I highly recommend it. Avengers, McKay is writing that. He also writes Moon Knight. But Avengers is top tier, ladies and gentlemen, and I think you really need to check that out. Each character on the team, it's Thor, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Black Panther, Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Captain Marvel is running the team. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. The issue 6 just came out, I think, 2 weeks ago, something like that, and it buttoned up the six issue run really nicely, and I really enjoyed it. Moon Knight, McKay is also writing that. That is coming to an end, though. But fear not, there's going to be more Moon Knight after that. But this is the Death of Moon Knight storyline that's coming out right now. And that is really good. So if you're sitting on the fence about Moon Knight, that's the title to get into right now, especially at the tail end. You can pick up all these previous stuff later, but get in while the getting's good. Do it. Daredevil issue 2 just came out last week,
Oh, you were
and
saying you really like that one, right? Yeah.
yeah, I was really surprised with it. So issue 1 didn't really pull me into much. I mean, it is a tough act to follow with Zdarsky's epic on Daredevil, but with the new writer right now, I can't remember his name offhand. The first issue, I think, was a couple of stumbles along the way, but issue 2 really felt very smooth. There was enough drama, story, and action that really held my interest through the entire issue, and I sent that to you guys in the group chat. I thought that was amazing. I was like, issue 2 got me sold. Yeah, so Daredevil is worth reading. Don't just throw it away because Zdarsky's not writing it, right? Check it out. It's good. It's issue 2 right now, so you only got one issue to pick up and you can read it. I enjoyed it. Incredible Hulk. Me and Uncle Gary talk about this every weekend on Codex After Dark. This is top tier Marvel right now. This is horror Marvel, and it's awesome. And the Incredible
Perfect
Hulk.
right now, right? With it being October, so
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and issue 5 just came out. That came out last week also, or the week before. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And that is right at the end of the storyline for that too. So you can still get into Incredible Hulk, and it is well worth it. It is a very awesome read, and this is what should have come out after Immortal Hulk. It's that good. Sensational She-Hulk is fantastic. She-Hulk just ended at issue 15. Sensational She-Hulk is out now. And if you liked She-Hulk, that's great. I love it. I think it's a great title. Dan and I talk about it often. It's good. It's really good. Don't sleep on that. It's a good series. The artwork is great. It's just pure fun comic book reading, and that's what
nice.
not
Yeah,
every
sometimes we need that, you know. Because
yeah,
sometimes I like my serious stories, but then
yeah.
sometimes I like my just fun action.
Not
Yeah.
everything needs to be an existential crisis. But yeah, for Marvel, that's my top tier Marvel right now. Sonny, what about you?
So I was looking into some other ones coming out. Like I know for Alpha Flight fans, I know they have a comic out. It's I think issue 3 is coming out, 3 of 5 is coming
Yep.
out. For those of you who like Hercules,
That
or
just
well,
came
since
out
Halloween's
on Wednesday, I think issue 3
Wednesday.
did. Yep.
All right. I see that there's a Hades comic book, so focusing on the
Ooh.
character Hades from Hercules, from the Disney one. So
Okay.
there you go. It's time for Halloween, and then
Yeah.
there's a horror pulp or horror, excuse me, horror pulp stories coming out with a graphic novel. So focusing on the horror pulp stories. So
Okay.
I think that's pretty interesting. And then yeah, you know me, there's always some kind of, you know, like omnibuses and things like that. And like I said,
Yeah.
Alpha Flight, I don't know what's going on with Alpha Flight, but they so they have their 5 issue series. Like I
Hmm.
said, their one just came out, and now they're releasing an omnibus with
Ooh.
Alpha Flight. So that one just came out. You know, another
I
huge book for the collection.
I know Alpha Flight has its own fans.
Yeah.
That is for sure. It's a, whether you like it or not, it's a lesser known title. Not all of them are mutants, but yeah, it's solid. I have not read much Alpha Flight, but it had a pretty healthy run in the 80s to the 90s. So there you go.
Yeah. Also, there's Alice Never After came out with
Hmm.
issue 4 or 5. There's still Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer. It's
Hmm.
called Lost Summers, and then those are from Boom Studios. Remember, back in the Boom Studios days, they still coming out with some comic books. One that looks
Mhm.
interesting is called Expanse the Dragon Tooth,
Ooh.
and that's a 12-issue series, and it's would come out with issue 6 of 12, and the cover. So I haven't checked it out. It looks pretty interesting. There's a guy on the cover. He's all pretty bloody.
Oh
It looks
wow.
like quite a fighter. So some interesting, always new interesting comic books that are out there.
Yeah, for DC, ladies and gentlemen, I think top tier DC right now, at least on my end, is Superman. And the guys on After Dark will tell you the same thing, that what they're doing with Dawn of DC is working, and it's working very well. Wonder Woman is kind of split down the middle, right?
I've
With
been
how
seeing some
people,
people pretty split about Wonder Woman.
yeah, issue 2 just came out, and Tom King, love him or hate him, it is what it is. But Superman is amazing. Read Superman. Superman's wonderful. Nightwing is very solid too. Batman always. You've got a million Batman titles to choose from.
Yeah,
Poison Ivy is still good. Harley Quinn is great. Shazam, Dan's a real big fan of that, and Sal is too, I believe. So there's tons of stuff for Dawn of DC. Hawk Girl is fantastic. Green Arrow just had issue 4 come out, and I believe that's the end for his mini series.
I've seen some good things about that one. I was a little
Oh,
confused. There was a cover, and it looks like it's all the Green Arrow. I was a
yeah,
little
all the
confused by that.
different iterations of him, and Green Arrow is fantastic. It is absolutely amazing, and I can't remember who said it. I think it was Jamie that said this, or maybe it was Dan. Either way, somebody on the Codex station said that they really enjoyed, and I agree 100%, how they're taking all of these characters, like these plethora of characters that they have in their bag to choose from, and they're giving everybody their due diligence. Like Fire and Ice are getting one. That's top tier DC too. Power Girl's got a series right now. You've got the mainstays that have their ongoings, but all these other characters are getting these mini series, and it's fantastic.
Nice. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Power Girl. I love every bit of Power Girl.
I bet you do.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, plenty to check out. Plenty of comic
Yep.
books for everybody to check out and enjoy. So much, so much to read.
Yeah, so pick and choose. Don't fall for FOMO, fear of missing out. So just because it's a key, a minor key, a major key, whatever. Collect what you want, read what you want, and you'll have so much of a better time enjoying your comic books.
Exactly. Yeah. Like even me, not too long ago, I got real quick. It's mail call,
Uh-oh, here we go.
and I got Hitman's greatest hits.
Ooh,
So that was
hang on a
basically.
second, Sonny. Hold, keep that up. Let's
Oh,
get you front and center there. If this will work. Here we
yeah.
go.
So
Maybe. Nope.
before, remember I said there
There
was
we
that
go.
deal on Amazon. They had their special, but they had a bunch of things on sale, and what
Yeah.
I got was this. I got Hitman's greatest hits.
Wow, Garth Ennis.
Yeah. So just
That's
I'm
good
enjoying it.
stuff.
It is, and I've been reading it, and I've been loving it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get back to reading the Dark Design. What we're gonna review because I was really getting into Hitman.
Oh
So
wow.
that was really cool. So
Right on.
I'm a
Yeah.
Hitman fan now. So yeah, like Tim said, read whatever you want to read.
Yep. Look
Whether
at
you want to read the
Sonny's
big stuff,
look at
or
his
me.
bookshelf back there. It's bowing with all of the X titles he
Yeah,
has. That's all Sonny reads.
I've got some others. I've got some others. Where are they? Where's my
And you
fingers?
have Hitman hidden under the
Yeah,
desk.
Hitman on the desk. I got a certain story we'll be reviewing right next to me. I got some over there, some right over there.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm running out of places. I'm looking for places to, store my comics. If anybody has any good tips of places where to put your comics, let me know. Any ways we could pull out part of the wall, maybe, and the comics behind or something.
You can just send all your excess to me, Sonny. As a friend, as your friend, I will hold on to them for you and keep them and read them.
Tim, I can't do that one. Can't do that. Well, I can technically, but more like I just won't. I believe in being an honest man. I just won't.
I appreciate your honesty, sir. However, I do not like it. Send me your books anyways, please.
Well, there's one I'll be talking about a little bit later today. Maybe I will send it your
Oh,
way. That's when we get to the F list.
fair enough.
But before we jump onto the F list, we can get on to our works.
Hmm.
And I will tell you that my story, Dangerous Nights, is now available in its entirety on Wattpad. So you can find it under Dangerous Nights, or my username on there is Sono the Writer. Always an easy way to find a lot of my stuff. If you ever like, how do I get to this guy's stuff? Is just Sonny Kruger. You can look me up. It should lead you to a lot of my things. So yes, I got this story, Dangerous Nights, out there. And recently, that last week I did mention that I had that Bold Journey interview about me was
Hmm.
about to come out, so it did come out. And there was one, this time I did make sure to focus a lot more on the Codex Station. I said that was one thing I
Nice.
wanted to do this year. I was like, I need to do interview, like really focuses a lot more on the Codex Station. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's one part I wanted to read that I felt our viewers of the Codex Station, the Codex podcast, should hear. And he was talking about during this interview, I was talking about taking risks, and I had mentioned, taking the risk of going from being my first time filmmaker to making a
Hmm.
podcast and thinking like, oh, am I going to look silly? Are people going to no longer take me serious? And then so I get to this part of the interview where I say, plus I love talking about comic books, so I was more than happy to do it. So I did take that chance to host a podcast and be silly, and it worked out. To this day, the Codex podcast on the Codex Station is going strong, and I enjoy it every week. What started as two buddies messing up a lot as we host a podcast watched by a few people has turned into a whole channel with multiple shows, thousands of viewers, and even plenty of good friends who joined the team. As for my series, that's going great, and no one has ever said, wait, you're that Codex podcast guy? I can't work with you, and I'm going to tell everyone else not to as well. If I didn't take chances, I'd have way less in my life.
There you
So
go.
that is a part, yeah. So, you could look me up, Sonny Kruger, and that is my interview with Bold Journey.
I'm going to look you up right now, Sonny.
Nice. And we'll later on we could put the link to that in the description. We could do that later on. Put the
Sure.
link if
Yeah.
anybody else wants to check out the full interview with me. And
There you go.
also today, Tim, you may notice I'm dressed a little bit more different. I was going to wear a Punisher shirt today because we're reviewing the Dark Design, but I went to a job fair. We do
Ooh,
mention that we gotta get some of those regular job things. Gotta make some
because
money.
the actors are still on strike.
Yes, the actors are still on strike. It's so not so easy for me to get some paid gigs. So my Maria's like, hey, there's a job fair. You should look into it, into going. So I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll dress up more regular, put on a little cologne. Can't put on too much because I can't smell. So I'll just do two sprays. So I went there talking to some people. And then what happens when I walk out? The lady's like, would you like to do an interview for like a news thing? And I was like, okay. I just jumped on it fast. But
Did you
then
hand her your headshot and your rate per hour?
I did not. And I was not too prepared. This is my first time going to a job fair. But I went there and because they were asking me, she's asking me more stuff about like the job fair stuff.
Yeah.
And I was able to mention my name. So I got my name out there. I mentioned that I normally work as an actor, but so it was like a quick, okay, I'll get your info, got her info, gave her my info to check out all the stuff that I'm connected
Mhm.
to, right? So she could look me up, check out the Codex podcast, check out
Yes.
a series about a series. And I'm driving home and then I get down on myself. I'm like, you could have said I'm an actor who's known for a series about a series, which I wrote and directed. And I should have said when I was leaving, I should have said, now I'm going to go host the Codex podcast with the Codex station. So that's how I am. I can get an interview, but I will later on, I look at what did I do wrong and I'm kicking myself. But now I learn. If I have any of the quick interviews, like randomly, I'm going to be ready next time.
There you go.
And I'm going to have it all prepared.
Have your headshot and your rates per hour. Hand it to them, even whatever job it's for, answering phones or whatever. Just be like, here you go. These are my rates per hour. Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna have to be prepared for it. Even if I go out to eat, I'm gonna be like, if I have to go get gas, bring that resume, bring the headshots, and if I'm buying gas, getting something, getting a lottery ticket, be like, and I'll be hosting the Codex podcast and the Codex station.
That's right.
I live and I learn. So I had that random on the spot interview, and I was like, I could have done way better,
Wow.
but I'll learn everybody. So
What
don't
would you
worry.
rate your interview out of 10?
Eh, 8.
8.
So it was still fine, but I could have done way better. I still
It was
fine.
all right.
I still sounded professional. I wasn't like embarrassing, but I just know in the back of my head, I could have mentioned more.
There you go.
So basically, we just need to interview me a lot more. So yeah, maybe get me on some of those like late night shows. Just kind of having those same celebrities all the time. Like just put me on there. Yeah. So that, but then there's also some big news that is going on that I saw today, and
Mhm.
that is that the Codex podcast, excuse me, that is that the Codex Station's website is really getting a big update, and
Yeah,
that is thanks to our guy Sale, the Slab guy.
that's right.
Yeah, it's really coming along. It's looking really good.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are under construction right now. If you've watched us on After Dark, I've told you, keep that in your back pocket. This right here, let me show you. There it is. www.thecodexstation. I love it. It's amazing.
It's all awkward.
Yeah, thecodexstation.com, ladies and gentlemen. You go there to get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. It is currently under construction right now. Sal is working hard and fast, sometimes slow and sometimes gently on said website. I have not seen a picture yet of a hammer over a computer, so it's going as smooth as I think it can. Yeah, good job, Sal. Way to go. Go check it out. It is a work in progress at the moment. We will have it smoothed and polished out as the days go on. So keep an eye out there. There's a lot of extra stuff that wasn't there before. So there's definitely going to be some new features added to the website as well. So once again, the codexstation.com, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. And speaking of things we did, obviously the Codex Station has been having a lot more shows out. Obviously there's After
Mhm.
Dark and Comic Character of the Week. And Tim, you guys, you were focusing on the Scarlet Witch, and I
Yeah,
was going to tell you one thing is I was on your side when everyone was against you with who they like Scarlet Witch with, and I was going to say I picked Vision. So
there
you're
you
not
go.
alone with that one. I was going to say
Good.
everybody's picking Wonder Man, but you're not alone with me. I do like, I really like Wonder Man, but I've always been more familiar with Scarlet Witch
Me
with
too.
Vision.
I don't
So
know about the relationship with Wanda and Wonder Man, and it's not that wonderful if I don't know it. So it's Vision and Scarlet Witch all the way.
watch, I'm gonna read some comics and I'm gonna be like, man, I completely see what everybody's. I completely see what everyone else is talking about. More Wonder Man in, Vision out. But for today, I'm still for Vision
Good.
in Wanda. So,
Good. We'll drive that car until the gas runs out.
yeah, you can also give this car more gas if anybody wants to send me more comics with
There you
Vision and
go.
Scarlet Witch, or if they want to convince me of Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch, they could send me some of those comics as well.
We're going to set up a P.O. box in several states. And ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen, you can choose who you want to send your comic books to. So there you go.
Yeah. And for Illinois, you got to be a bit more specific because me and Kristen lives here too.
So it'll have
Yeah.
both your names on it. And then that'll give you guys a reason to meet up every Friday for coffee and trade
And,
comic books.
and then argue and be like, no, this is mine. I told you it was mine.
Sonny, you're wrong.
Kristen, I love Gambit and Rogue more than you do, even though you've done the reviews. They're meant for me.
Sorry, you get Jean Grey, Kristen. Have a good day.
I'll take Jean Grey too.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
I'll take the Jean Grey and the
Just
Jean
all the X-Men.
Cyclops. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll take and the Guardians of the Galaxy Omnibus too.
There you
Just
go.
because,
Just send it care of Sonny Kruger.
Yeah. There you go. Some good things, like I said. So, Codex Station always up to a lot each week. But you know who's been up to a lot, but really sucks at what they do?
Oh, yeah, I
That's our
do.
F lister. So it is time for the F list. And today, the Dominators join the F list.
Well, let me give them the most awesome
Oh, yeah.
intro. Here you go. Now we can show them.
Oh, now we can go to the F list. That intro's cooler than these F listers. The Dominators join the F list. There they are, the Dominators. DC's Dominators.
All right.
There
Let
we
me go
go.
ahead.
They see the alien huge teeth, big red dots on their heads, and got long nails.
Let's take
Hey,
a
there
look
could
at
be a
this one.
Halloween outfit, for anybody watching.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, if you want to be a stupid alien, you could be a
And they
Dominator.
they they talk a lot too. Dumb
Yes.
aliens.
I'm not going to read all the parts because there's so much talking. If we were to read it, well, one part says, "Silence, inferior. It is not my place to initiate strategy."
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but like I said, I will not. If look at all those words, they talk and they
Words
talk.
are hard.
Yes,
I just
so
don't
many
want none to do with
words.
that.
And there we go.
More
More talking.
words.
More words talked. More words talked.
Days.
Yeah, more words spoken. Trust me, I know what I'm saying.
Now, I kind of like this one.
There we go. That is the live action one, which I will agree with you, Tim. I don't think that looks so for these characters for as much as I don't like them. I think the live action version looks pretty decent, I will say.
Looks pretty neat. Ladies and gentlemen, that is from the Arrowverse Crisis or Invasion. Yeah, there you go. I know which one it is. I just can't get the words out because words
Oh,
are hard.
yeah. Oh, so many words. Maybe it's better we didn't have so much news today because
Right?
there would be more more words for all of us. So Tim, you see you know a little bit about the Dominators. Would you like to take a guess as to their history?
Tiny amount. So the Dominators used to be called the Submissives or the Bottoms. And they were very subdued. It was a very subdued planet, right? And but with all the submissives, you don't have anybody that's a top or a dominator. And one of these guys decided that he wasn't going to be a bottom anymore. He was going to be a top. And yeah, the whole race was like, yeah, we'll be tops too. And that's how they became the Dominators.
Well, Tim, that story's not much worse than the real thing.
They even did a series for it called Invasion, right? It's like 3 issues long.
Oh, it's 3 books long. And Tim,
Oh yeah.
I have this. Yeah. And in the back, it even says, in one of the most epic DC Universe crossover events ever.
No,
It's
Sonny
not.
disagrees.
Spoiler, it's not. I went through those 3 books and there is a lot of dialogue, so much. The
Wow.
powers basically they can just talk you to death.
Is that how they invaded the DC universe?
Well, how they invaded was actually they just randomly decided with all these other aliens, hey, you know what? Earth is becoming too powerful. So how about all of us aliens and your alien for those planets? We all team up together to go after Earth now. And Earth, what did they say? They put it in a newspaper and it said like, oh yeah, Earth to invaders, drop dead. Yeah. I love it when Superman hates aliens.
Oh my god.
I love that. So,
Oh.
the Dominators. Name the Dominators. Aliases, the Dominion. And they were formerly the Alien Alliance. They are from the Dominion. They were created by Jim Shooter, and their first appearance was in Action Comics 361 in October of 1967.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I said, so in DC's Invasion, Secret No More, this story right here, like I said, they gathered up a bunch of other aliens to invade Earth. I'm going to go through a little bit of this story, not too much of it, but they basically say they do so much talking. Basically, I consider their power to be talking and talking and talking. They bore you to death. So they invade Earth after 80 pages. Book number 2, they
Yep, I have
show
all 3 issues.
book
I ju
number 2, they get crushed. They do not know how to fight. They are not good fighters at all. I'm like, man, for all that talking they did, they suck at fighting.
Why?
You know,
Because all they do is talk.
yeah, there you go. They did no training. They just talked and talked and talked, and they get crushed. They get smashed. So eventually they're done, and then they get to spoiler. They get defeated in the second of 3 books.
Wow.
Before they get defeated, one hits a button, and that is to set off the gene bomb. And it's basically meant to kill all like the superheroes, but it accidentally. Okay, this little part is from DC Fandom, and it says the gene bomb. It says, ironically, the detonation of the gene bomb was actually responsible for the creation of several metahumans.
Wow, that's amazing. So it didn't. It did the
The
opposite of what
opposite.
they wanted it to do.
Yeah. But what was it? Many years later, in the 30th century, they would return and they would be villains to the Legion of Superheroes. There was a lot more fighting. Obviously, they get defeated. It was that they had killed billions, though. So with their not with their hands, they're not fighters. They have a
They're
lot of
dog.
technology, so they use that to blow up planets and things like that. But eventually, in the 31st century, they were defeated by the Legion of Superheroes, and Brainiac 5 imprisoned them into the Phantom Zone.
Ooh.
Now their powers, right? For this is what it says their powers are. Because like I said,
Yes.
I would say their powers to talk to bore you to death with their constant talking. But it says their powers, ready? Enhanced intellect. And their abilities, science, and gadgetry. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have a lot of, like I said, a lot of weapons. The warp capable starships, transphasic cannons, bio bullets, Titan disruptors, neutron blasters, Star Striker, AI virus. Yeah. Oh wait, that was another thing they had done, and was the 30th century is they made AI version, like a robotic version of the Dominators, and it was like as big as a skyscraper. So if you see any of those, the heads, if you want to pull up any of those pictures, yeah, the perfect picture to use. Imagine that head of the Dominator, but it's like as big as a skyscraper building going through the
Sonny,
buildings.
I love how much hate you have for these guys right now. This is amazing. They weren't
Good.
put on the F list because they deserve to be. They were put on there because they need to be.
Yes, exactly. I was they do deserve. Yes, they need to be, and also they have a few super soldiers, But if you don't think that's bad enough, some of them, usually they don't have names, but some of their more hierarchy dominators
Mm,
have the red dots over their heads. There we go. Those are some of the higher ranking ones.
yeah.
So a few have names. So if you want to know some of the names of the dominators,
Sure.
they are Gunther, Sekrit, Xylon, and Ambassador Wutlan. Yes. And there's a little bit of trivia. There's more things to them. That from DC Fandom says in the game Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, Baraka and the Tarkata become the Mortal Kombat counterpart of the Dominators in Baraka's arcade ending.
Ooh,
And
okay.
then in the Demon Volume 3, issue number 6, the spirits of deceased Dominators are depicted to serve Beelzebub in hell, where they
Wow.
deserve to be. And then it's the Dominators. They were in DC's Legends of Tomorrow and the whole Arrowverse, where they were trying to invade, but that they were more specifically after Barry Allen because of his ability, to be
Right.
able to change time and go to back and forward into time. So that was dumb. But yes, as you can tell, if you couldn't tell already, I'm not a fan of the Dominators. I got this book. I thought it was, here it was supposed to be interesting. I'm like, I don't know about this, and well, I read it, and then I was, hey, there you go. I got, trick or treat.
Wow.
That was my trick. Is it was just constant talking from these dominators. I'm like, no wonder they were never in anything else. And a quick little trivia, or do you know, is X-Men made an issue? Oh, I'm really trying to remember it. It's like the issue before or after Jubilee's first appearance. X-Men Uncanny X-Men had an issue pretty much making fun of the Dominators.
Really?
Yep, it
Give
has a
me
cover.
give me just a minute while you continue to hate on them, and I will find the issue number.
Yeah, something I know it has Wolverine on the cover. I'm going with something like a
Let's see here.
yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I got this. And actually, quite a few big names worked on the Invasion story. There's Keith Giffen, Bill Mantlo, Bart Sayers, and even Todd McFarlane.
So it is Uncanny X-Men number 245. Has a cameo appearance of Chewbacca, Yoda, Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett, and alien xenomorph ET and Alf. And yeah, it is currently $4 according to cover price. And Rob Liefeld did the artwork on
Oh,
the inside. Dan Green did inks, and Chris Claremont wrote it. So now I'm gonna have to read that.
yeah, it was. I did go through. It was more of a comedic. It was an issue that was meant to make fun of all. It was pretty much meant to make fun of a
In-
DC's invasion.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
That's
there's
wonderful.
that. Tim, I think you know what my answer would be when I ask, do you think can the Dominators, any of them, Gunther, Secrete, Xylon, Ambassador Ruthlon, can any of the Dominators make it out of the F list?
If you had the final say, that would be a big fat no. Yeah, if they're written right and made more menacing and more dominating, maybe they could go one step above, but probably not. We haven't seen them pretty much since they were messing
Invasion.
around with Legion of Superheroes, but that's in the 30th century, right? We haven't seen them since Invasion for present day. So there's that. So probably not.
Yeah. One thing I will say is I am a bit curious as to how the live action version went because it did say it did, they do look a little more intimidating there. Where I do wonder, I am a bit curious to see those episodes to see how that
So
went.
I remember when it came out and I thought that was really cool. I was like, "Hey, I know what that is. That's Invasion. That's the Dominators. Yeah, they dominate." And there you go. So, I don't know.
Did they
Uh
dominate in the episode
I have
or
no idea. I didn't see the
okay?
episode. I didn't watch a whole lot of the Arrowverse. Like I watched Arrow for several seasons, and I watched the first 2 seasons of The Flash, and I watched the first season of Supergirl. But beyond that, I kind of quit.
Yeah,
It's a
many
lot to
many
keep up
episodes.
with.
Yes, where
If
to
you
begin? Where
if you
to?
look if you look online, there is a sequential episode watching order, which I think is very interesting.
I think I will have to check that out. Yeah.
So yeah, there's
Yeah.
that.
What one thing I will say is I am actually curious to see. Excuse me. I am curious to see the invasion episodes to see how the Dominators do in live action. Can they do better than they did in comic book form?
Right. Now that's one thing the Arrowverse got right. Like when they did that, obviously it's on TV budget and stuff, but Invasion, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and the crossovers every year and things like that, those were amazing. They were awesome to see those stories in their aspect come to life. I thought that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, the Dominators remain a dominant force in the F list.
A
They're going to be
big
tough to beat.
no.
Yeah, they stay in the F list for me. Yeah. Well, what do you think? Anybody watching? What do you think? Do you love the Dominators? Do you love their big old heads and their big red dots and their huge teeth? Yeah. There you go.
How do they eat? They
Yeah.
must drink things through a straw. I
Yeah.
don't
They
know.
cut it up with those long nails of
Yeah,
theirs.
there you go. Perfect. Wonderful.
And then they talk. They talk for like 3 hours before taking each bite. 30 pages of dialogue before you see one bite get in there. But Tim, I think we can say we can leave the Dominators
Yeah,
behind. And you know, and I could say the Dominators. Well, wait, some of them, hey, some of the Dominators are in hell. Remember, I said according to the demon, they're in hell. But you know what? Now they could bring us on to our review
there you
because
go.
in Hearts of Darkness, which me and Tim reviewed last year on the Codex podcast, we
Mhm.
saw the amazing team up of the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, the Punisher, and Wolverine going to
Yep.
hell and battling uh, Blackheart. And now, this year, we will be reviewing the sequel, The Dark Design. And
Yeah.
as usual, Tim will start us off with the credits.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and the Punisher. The Dark Design was written by Howard Mackey with art by Ron Garney, inks by Al Milgram, colors by Paul Mounts, and letters by Richard Starking. A lot of big names in here. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay, and I will give us a little run through of part of the story, not the full. So I won't give away the full story, but quite a bit of it. So here we go. We start off the story in a chase. And it's Ghost Rider, and he is helping out. He is helping Lucy Crumb from the original Hearts of Darkness. She's a
Mhm.
bit older now, and he's getting the help of Norma Jean, but they're being chased by the corrupt, and that is beings who were corrupted by Blackheart. And as they're chasing, they want Lucy, they want to take her to bring to Blackheart, and one of them gets a good hold of Ghost Rider, pretty much corrupting him. So Ghost Rider, he must turn it back to Danny Ketch because he doesn't know what he's going to do as Ghost Rider because he's been corrupted. They make their escape, and then we shift over to Wolverine, who is fighting some more of the corrupt, and then
Mhm.
he's defeating them, and then but more come, and then boom, 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 boom. Surprise, surprise! Who's coming to help him out and kill some of the corrupt?
The Punisher.
That is right. So the Punisher and Wolverine, they do a little bit of talking. Hey, what's going on? And the Punisher's like, I don't really believe a lot of the stuff or magic or powers, things like that. But he's been getting some messages from Lucy. Both of them have been. And
Mhm.
she wants them, she calls them Mr. Frank and Mr. Logan or Mr. Wolverine. And so they eventually find a Wolverine, uses his sense of smell. He smells and leads the Punisher to the sewers um, where Ghost Rider, Lucy, and everyone is hiding out. And so they get together. They're trying to figure out why is Blackheart after them. Why does Blackheart want Lucy? And
Mhm.
speaking of Blackheart, he's mad that his corrupt did not bring Lucy to him. And Blackheart, he's pretty much losing it. He's even kind of slouched down. He is in Christ's crown. And we see that the place Christ's crown has really changed. It's really been taken over by Blackheart. And Blackheart, he really wants to kill his father, Mephisto. He wants to take over, and he's losing his mind. He even hears a bird, and he believes the bird is mocking him, so he kills that bird. How dare you mock me, right?
Kills a mockingbird.
For mocking him. But he believed it was mocking him, and really it was just minding its own business. Yeah, so we see that Mephisto was very different looking in here than he was
Mhm.
back in the day. He's like a huge monster, and he's even uglier than he was before. He is hideous. But we get to back to Wolverine, the Punisher, and Ghost Rider, and they are attacked by the corrupt. That is Blackheart's his minions. He sends them again out to get. He sends all of them. Say, go
Mhm.
get Lucy to me. And as they're battling, Wolverine and the Punisher, that is when Danny Ketch decides, okay, they need my help. Everyone's getting outnumbered, so I will turn into Ghost Rider to help them. And he is, but there are so many of the corrupt. Suddenly, Wolverine and the Punisher, they realize, wait a minute, we've lost Ghost Rider and Lucy are
Yep.
gone. The corrupt have taken them, and they take them to Blackheart. And Blackheart then reveals his plan that he will marry Lucy. And this is, he will marry Lucy and use Lucy in his attempt to defeat his father, Mephisto, once and for all. But Wolverine and the Punisher do not want to let that happen as they crash in, and they will attempt to make their rescue. And they were in for quite a surprise, and I was in for quite a few surprises in this story, especially the ending had me really surprised.
Mhm.
But I will stop my run through of the story right there. And I will recommend checking out The Dark Design. For me, I thought this was a terrific sequel. When I first got the book, it was, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, the Punisher, and the trade paperback just said Hearts of Darkness. So when I went
Mhm.
through half of the book, I was surprised that it ended for Hearts of Darkness, and then like, okay, this second one is the sequel. So that's how I read them. I read them first time reading both was back to back,
Yeah.
and with the Dark Design, I wasn't really expecting too much from it because everything was
Okay.
about Hearts of Darkness, and I was really pleasantly surprised with the Dark Design. I thought it was in my opinion, I thought it was a terrific sequel. I really liked how it picked up fast. For a little bit, I was wondering of, okay, why did they want Lucy? Are they ever gonna tell what is the big plan? Or they just
Mhm.
he's just after Lucy? But it is revealed, and for me, I like the characters. I felt they were real to them. I like the artwork. The only thing is sometimes Wolverine, I felt he looked quite a bit different when he was without his outfit, and then with
Mhm.
his outfit, almost reminded me of two different characters body wise. That
Okay.
was the one thing I caught. But I wanted to specifically say the coloring I thought was some of the best coloring that I've
Ooh.
ever seen. I really liked it. I thought the coloring really went with the story. I liked how at 2 points it would seem dark, but you'd see fire and it would bring a little bit of light. So I really liked the coloring. That's one thing I don't mention too much in reviews, but that really stood out to me. I think this is a terrific sequel, and I think the Dark Design does live up to Hearts of Darkness. And I think the Dark Design for me, I, Sonny Kruger, give Hearts give the Hearts of Darkness sequel, the Dark Design, a 9.5 out of 10.
Interesting. Wow.
I loved this story, and I was glad when you didn't read it. I was like, Tim, you gotta, especially since you love Hearts of Darkness. I'm like, we gotta
Hmm.
review this, and here we are, 1 year later, reviewing the Dark Design. So I'm really curious as to see what you thought of this because it's the sequel to one of your favorite stories.
So, yeah, Hearts of Darkness is amazing. I loved that when I was a kid. It's a story that I read every year. Yep, there it is. I read it every year around this time, and I usually save it for then. But maybe once in a while I'll pick it up again. But it's a yearly read for me. That this is every time during October. However, I think that Hearts of Darkness is perfect on its own. I didn't think that it needed a sequel, and I honestly didn't know about it until you had mentioned something a while back. I think after we had reviewed Hearts of
I
Darkness, you
think
were
so.
like,
Yeah.
"Hey, there's this sequel." I was like, "I never knew." So I went out and got my own copy, and I waited to read that for a whole year until we got here. um, and I have to say that Howard Mackey writing this, I don't think that he did as good of a job. There's a lot. It starts off like this, like you are right in the middle of an action scene, and it takes about half of the story to figure out what's going on. That doesn't bother me. Sometimes it works, and it worked here. But I think where Hearts of Darkness had a lot of heart to it, the Dark Design is severely lacking that. There is less soul in this story than there is in Hearts of Darkness. That being said, it is not bad, right? This fills a very specific action trope, right? Like this is just carbon action all the way through.
Yep.
Each character acts the way that they're supposed to. Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and the Punisher. Just I think that the story was severely lacking the amount of suspense and danger and awe that Hearts of Darkness had. That doesn't make it a bad story, though. It's a very solid action story. I don't see it as a horror story. I think Blackheart was very thin with personality in this. It was the same thing over and over. Die, 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 kill. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna do this. The prophecy says this. I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah. Okay. So writing gets a 5 out of 10 from me. The artwork, however, Ron Garney's artwork, along with Al Milgram's inks, and yes, Sonny, the colors, Paul Mount's colors, fantastic. John Romita Jr. did Hearts of Darkness, did a wonderful job, and Ron Garney did a wonderful job maintaining that type of style, like with Mephisto and stuff like that. In Blackheart, he did a really good job being consistent with the way that they looked from Hearts of Darkness into the Dark Design. With that being said, his signature style is there, and it looks fantastic. He built off of what John Romita Jr. did and made it his own, but left the foundation the same. And I love that. I thought it was great. Paul Mount's colors were perfect. They added where the writing lacked atmosphere, the colors definitely made the visuals more amazing, more wonderful, more atmospheric. Uh, so artwork gets a very high and well-deserved 9 out of 10 from me. So overall, with in my opinion, a story that is severely lacking in substance and heart. 5 artwork, however, more than makes up for that with the visuals by the entire creative team. That gets a 9. Overall, gets a 7 out of 10.
Well, there we go. Yeah, so a 7 out of 10 for Tim. That's good.
Yep.
And nicer for me, a 9.5 out of 10. So, Tim, you'd say it doesn't live up
No.
to the hype, and then I would, or up to the original. And I, like I said, I think I may be a little bit of the loner on this one, where I say I think it does live up to the original. So I'm curious to see anybody else who has read it. Feel free to comment what you think. Do you
Yeah.
think the Dark Design lives up to Hearts of Darkness? Are you more with me and you say yes, it does? Or are you more with Tim and you say no, it doesn't?
We've been
Both.
divided on books before, like Exo Manowar. I love bringing that up. You
Oh
and
yeah,
I loved it.
so
We thought it was
yeah.
amazing. Jamie thought it was a dumpster fire.
So that's what is cool, and with the yeah, like so. So with
Yep.
both stories, I'm glad we both got to review them. So
Yep. A
yeah,
lot
I'm
of the
interested.
times we stay on the same path, but when certain books come along, it's like one of us goes way over here.
Yeah,
And
but
it's,
this one,
yeah.
yeah, even too, I'd say not this was not way over. Like I said, you
No,
still enjoyed it, and I said I really like it. So
I did. I
it,
did. Like when I finished it, I didn't come away like, "Oh, what the heck did I just read? I am done with that Sunny man." No, when it was done, I was like, okay, that was cool. That was solid. And I was really stoked about the artwork. Oh, and fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, this book takes place during the time when Wolverine has his bone claws.
oh,
So
cool.
in the first Hearts of Darkness, the first, he's got his adamantium, but all the events that took place with X-Men, Wolverine getting the adamantium stripped from his body in the Dark Design, he doesn't have that. He's got bone claws. Just nice little tidbit there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well there we go, everyone. That is our review for The Dark Design, which is the sequel to Hearts of Darkness. We'll have plenty more reviews and more episodes of the Codex podcast and
Mhm.
everything else, and more reviews all over the Codex station. And now, Tim, we can tell everybody that once again, I mentioned it a while ago because we said we were going to do this story, we were going to review it,
Mhm.
and then now we can mention again that the next story arc we will review will be next week, and that will be JLA The Nail.
Yes, and I've got a lot to say about that.
I do too, so I'm interested to see what we both do. Are we on the same path? Are we, both different? So we will see.
Have to wait till next week.
Yeah. So next week on the Codex podcast, we review The Nail. Maybe we'll have no. Maybe we'll have more news, or again, no. As we
No
said
news.
today, no news is good news. But I think there
Yep.
might be. I think there's gonna be a little bit of something next week.
Oh, yeah. The
New
industry
month.
can't stay quiet.
Yeah, there'll be a new month. There'll be something new to talk about.
Mhm.
Maybe a new trailer or something like that.
Sure.
But again, everyone, it looks like we can wrap this up. Tim, we did not beat the record. We did not beat the
No.
shortest. I don't think we're the. I don't think this is the second shortest either. But
No.
hey, I'm more than fine with it. I had fun. Hope you did too. Hope everybody watching had fun watching us. You know what we were saying? But yeah, so everyone have a happy Halloween. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves, and enjoy life. Enjoy us. Enjoy whatever you like to do, what you like to listen to, watch. Just do. Enjoy life. Try to be happy. Sometimes it's not so easy to be happy, but sometimes just at least try to do some things that you enjoy, and maybe you'll find your smile again. So I hope you do, and I
Mhm.
hope everybody takes care and enjoys the rest of the month. So Tim, I will let you wrap this up because you know how to wrap these shows up better than I do. So take
Right
it
on.
away.
I am more than happy to put a bow on this episode because it's been a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to find us on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the Codex Station. That is where we will be, your favorite social media platforms, and where we're live streaming right now. Make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow button so you don't miss more content like this coming out. And we're live several times a week, and new episodes come out constantly. Plus, we got awesome shorts for you as well. So, once again, at the Codex Station, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget our website is under construction, but you can go there and check it out. Just don't cross the caution tape. Thecodexstation.com, ladies and gentlemen, where you soon enough will be able to get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, our awesome sponsor for this week's episode. That would be Dubby Energy. Everybody here at Codex loves it. And that's not just a product placement to sell. We all have tried it. We all enjoy it. Sal drinks it weekly, well, probably daily, especially on Codex After Dark. So you can see him do that. And I know Jamie's got it all the time too. Once again,
When you need that, get
w.gg.
it. Yeah.
That's right. Make sure to use the keyword code -X so you can save 10% on your order at checkout. Once again, code -X as the keyword, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I am excited that you're here. I'm glad that you stuck with us through the whole episode. And once again, if you enjoy this type of content, this long form content with two talking heads, just kind of talking about how awesome comic books are, please make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow. We definitely want to have you here with us every week. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim. This guy over here is the immortal Sonny Kruger. This is the Codex Podcast on the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.